There's something fresh and exciting happening in the world of CAD modeling, and it's CadQuery. So why would you use CadQuery as opposed to any of the other CAD modeling programs that we already have? And what exactly is CadQuery? CadQuery is, strictly speaking, not a program, but it's more like an open source Python library for CAD modeling. But what you can do with CadQuery is what you would typically do with programs such as Autodesk Fusion, SolidWorks, Onshape, and so forth. And the easiest way to get into CadQuery is to actually download and install the CadQuery editor or CQ editor, which really does feel like using a typical Microsoft user interface. So let's talk about the advantages to using CadQuery, or why anyone would even want to use CadQuery. Well, first of all, it's an open source project, meaning no subscription, no payment. You can probably download it today. But as a parametric programmatic library, it's really quite comprehensive in what it can actually do. In order to understand what CadQuery is about, you need to understand that CadQuery is a code-based or script-based way of designing and modeling. Instead of clicking and dragging and then typing in the dimensions and measurements that you want, you directly type each line of your design process, including the measurements and the dimensions, right from the beginning. Now, I know that could seem a bit abstract, complex, or daunting even, but believe me, Python itself is an incredibly popular and intuitive programming language. And likewise, CadQuery is also incredibly intuitive. With just a basic knowledge of Python, you could very quickly start making quite complex designs. Another advantage to working with CadQuery is that instead of working with encrypted proprietary file formats, you're basically working with an easy-to-read text file, basically a Python script. So everything is clear and easy to read. In fact, you can also share different versions or steps of your project with others by simply sharing the text. Working with this kind of source code also means that you can use version control systems such as Git and GitHub. This will help you to create advanced timelines or even to collaborate with others in real time. One of the best use cases for CadQuery is if you need to automate or generate dozens or maybe even hundreds of variants of your project or your design. You can easily do this using the built-in features of Python, such as the loops, making this one of the best tools for engineers to use. Personally, I've found that one of the greatest advantages or benefits to CadQuery is the fact that you can incorporate artificial intelligence into your workflow. I found that ChatGPT as well as Cloud Code have been trained on CadQuery and can easily help you to generate a rough draft, to troubleshoot and handle errors. And bearing in mind that CadQuery was built in Python, you can obviously use artificial intelligence systems to help you with all of the Python coding, even helping you to tap into the full potential of other libraries such as NumPy and SymPy, or any other library that you might want to use, maybe even to add some visuals to your project or to your script. I will say this, that CadQuery might not be ideal for 3D sculpting, for example, but it is quite comprehensive in what it can achieve, the shapes and solids that you can create using its built-in geometry. However, once you are satisfied with your final design, you can also export it into some common file formats to then be imported or used in other modeling environments such as Blender. Please consider subscribing, as there are some more tutorial videos in the making. All in all, CadQuery, together with the CadQuery editor, is an intuitive code-based CAD modeling tool that allows you to incorporate design automation, version control, and artificial intelligence into your workflow, as well as the entire Python environment.